We move on to the last lesson in module 2, that is about trapezoids and kites. We will learn about these two shapes in this lesson, and that would be the end of the module 2 quadrilaterals. Now, the learning objectives of this lesson are to apply the property of trapezoids to solve real-world problems and mathematical problems, and then to apply the properties of trapezoids and use coordinate geometry to find the lengths and endpoints of the mid-segment. This is the second one. It's mainly about mid-segments. Don't worry if you're not getting this much. We will understand when we solve the problems. And the third one is to apply the properties of kites to solve real-world problems. And the keywords in this lesson are trapezoid, basis of trapezoid, legs of trapezoid, base angle of trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid, mid-segment of trapezoid, and finally kite. So there's lots of things about trapezoids. Now, you might be wondering, what is trapezoid? Before trapezoids, I'm sure you all know what's a triangle. So this is a triangle, right? 3 sides. Now, what if I cut this top part? Okay, I cut this top part and I remove this top part. I'm remaining with this over here, this, sorry, it's not so accurate. Now this over here, and lastly this over here. So I'm remaining with this shape, isn't it? Now this shape is a trapezoid. Over here you will always find 2 sides are parallel to each other. Okay, only 2 sides, not the other 2 sides. One pair of opposite sides will be parallel. Now say for example this is parallel to this, but you can see this is closing in. They are not parallel, these two. Okay, they won't be parallel, and the ones which are parallel will never be equal to each other, because one will be long, one will be small. Okay, it's always like that. It can be like this shape, or it might be very wide and straight like this. This is also trapezoid, various types. Okay, now the bases are nothing but these sides which are parallel to each other, and the other 2 sides are the legs. That's it. The bases are the ones which are parallel to each other. This is a trapezoid. The bases are the sides which are parallel, and the other 2 sides, see now this side and this side, are the legs of the trapezoid. Now what about the base angles? The angles formed at the base, see this and this, right? And over here you can see this and this. They are the base angles. And isosceles trapezoid is the one whose legs, can you see this side and this side, if they are equal, then it's isosceles. A mid-segment is a line from the middle of this leg and this, this leg and this leg. And if I draw something like this, that's a mid-segment. We'll come to it in detail. And kite, as you might have seen kite flying, see like this. Okay, that's a kite. We will see all this in a while. First, let's look into trapezoid. This is what I just now told. There are one set of parallel sides. They are called the base of trapezoid, bases of trapezoid. And the legs of trapezoids are other 2 things. Okay, this is the base angle, and isosceles trapezoids in which the legs are congruent. Now then, we will solve. Okay, before we solve problems, we need to look into a few of the properties or the theorems. Here they say in isosceles trapezoid, now this is about isosceles trapezoid, each pair of these 2 base angles are congruent to each other. Okay, now if these 2 are parallel and these 2 legs are equal, then this angle and this angle is congruent. These 2 angles are congruent. And also it says if a trapezoid has one pair of congruent base angles. Now here you can see this and this is parallel to each other, right? These lines. Now here, if one pair of base angles are congruent, if these both are equal, then we should know that is an isosceles. So these both sides are equal. Now another theorem says if isosceles, the trapezoid is isosceles only if the diagonals are congruent. That means this diagonal and this diagonal are equal to each other. Now then we will look into some problems of trapezoids. Here we have been told this is an isosceles trapezoid. We are solving problems on isosceles trapezoid. The body of the guitar over here shown in the trapezoid prism. This is the trapezoidal prism. The front face of the guitar is an isosceles trapezoid. This is isosceles trapezoid. What else? AB, can you see this line AB? is given as 3x minus 2. CD is given as 3x plus 9. Now, these both are not equal because they are the base sides. You should understand this and this is parallel. Why? The slopes are same. Whereas look at the other two sides. Are these equal? Are these parallel? No, the slopes are different. Parallel means the slopes must be same in both the cases. Whereas over here, one is coming in like this and one more is coming in. No, they will touch each other. They're not parallel to each other. Okay. Now then, all these values are given in terms of x. Okay, but we need to prove x equals 11. How do we do that? Is very simple. We know this side in isosceles, this side and this side is equal. So all we need to do is equate these both. AD, line AD is equal to CB, the line CB or BC. So what do we do? Write what it is. 4x plus 5 must be equal to what? CB, that is, or BC. It's the same thing, BC or CB. It is 5x minus 6. Now solve this up. 4 is smaller than 5, so 4x is smaller than 5. So take it to the other side and numbers to one more side. This becomes 6, minus becomes plus. 6 plus 6 plus 5 equals 5x minus 4x. And what else? Add this up, it will be 11 equals 5 minus 4 is 1x. This is the answer. X equals 11, hence proved, just by simple thing. Okay, you can write the statements and stuff, because the definition of isosceles triangle, AD and CB or BC is equal. And then if they are equal because of congruency, we can equate these both by substitution and then we can solve them by properties. And over here is the answer. Now, this is the part A. What about, okay, that's the answer. What about part B? They're asking us to find the measure of A at this angle, okay? This is unknown if the C is known to be 72 degrees. Again, let's see what is the base. This is base and this is base. Now we know the base angles are congruent. This and this is equal, this and this is equal. There are various ways to solve this. Now let me just draw it like this. Let me draw a bigger one. So like this, like this. Okay, that's not, anyways. Oh god, I'm just trying. Okay, let it be like this. It's such a bad drawing. Now, okay, anyways, I hope you understand this. D, A, B and C. Okay, this is C. Now here C is given as 72. Since it's an isosceles triangle, what happens to the other side? This is also 72. It won't change. Now we need to find A, which I do not know. Let me take it as X, unknown value. If that is X, even B is X. Why? These two are parallel to each other. That means the base angles are equal. When I add them all, I know this is 4 sides, so it is 360 degrees. Now what I do is I can do 72 plus 72 plus x, that will be 2x, or I can write it x plus x equals 360 degrees. Or you can see this when you draw a diagonal, it's two triangles. One triangle is 180 degree, two triangles is 360 degrees. Now 72 plus 72 is 140 plus 4, it's 144 plus 2x equals 360. Now what about this? Take this to the other side, it will be 2x equals 360 minus 144. I'll write it directly. It will be 260 minus 44, 220, 216. Okay, I hope this is correct. And now just divide this by 2 and you will get the answer. It's divide both the sides by 2. X will be equal to 50, 55, 58. I hope this is correct. Something is fishy. Anyways, is it 58? Okay, 108. Sorry for that. Oh yes. What's the mistake I did? Okay, use calculator. This is the best thing I would suggest. Don't do like me. Over here it is 216. Okay, 216 divided by 2 would be 108. My bad. So that's the answer. Okay. Anyways, it's evening, it's past 7, so I'm just tired. That's the reason. So this is the answer. It's 108 degrees. Okay, that would be the answer. Now then, let's go to the next part C. They're asking the perimeter. What is the perimeter? Perimeter is all the sides. Now, if it's a rectangle, the perimeter is 2 times length plus 2 times breadth. If it's a triangle, just add all the three sides, you will get the answer. Here, now since it's not a rectangle, not the opposite sides are equal or something, only one pair of opposite sides are equal. So what you do is add all these sides. All these sides are given, and you know the x value is 11, right, from the part A. See, if we go back, what was the x value? Equal to 11. So substitute that. First of all, perimeter is equal to, add all this, 3x minus 12 plus 3x plus 9 plus adding all 4x plus 5, and lastly we have plus 5x minus 6. Okay. Now here, add these up. 3x plus 3x plus 4x plus 5x. That would be 6, 10, 15x plus, 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 minus 4, 6 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. So minus plus 6. Okay. You can just put over here this entire thing in calculator and substitute x as 11. That's also possible. Now here 15 into 11. X is 11 plus 6. So 150 plus 15 is 165, 171. I hope this is correct, or did I do any mistake? Okay, it's correct. So this is how you can easily solve it up. Okay, why? Because x value is known to be 11. Just substitute the 11 and then solve it. As easy as it gets, you know. So this is the answer for the perimeter. Now then, we will see another problem. Here they have told this quadrilateral QRST as vertices given over here, Q, R, S and T. They have given specified. If this is not given, you can plot them as well. Now Q, what is it? Minus 8. Minus 4, minus 8. X value is minus 8. What is 4? Here. Where does it coincide? This point. See? This is the point. Same way you can plot all the points and get this. And we have to show this is a trapezoid and determine whether it is isosceles trapezoid. Now over here, I have done this lesson already in class, and many of my students use different methods and different solutions. You know, you can solve it any way possible. You can use the textbook method as well, or whichever method. Now let's look at this figure once. How is it, how can you find a slope? Obviously by the slope formula, that is one way, that is m equals y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. This is one way you need to substitute and solve. Or since this figure is there over here, there are alternative methods. Like, you know, slope is basically dy by dx, that is rise over run. What is rise? The y-axis values, and run is the x-axis values. So all you need to do is count the difference in the x and y. Let me count over here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, it's plus 4 x values. And what about y? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 6, it's going up, right? From here, upside, okay? So what happens is you can write it as 6 by 4, or you can simplify it to be 3 by 2. The slope over here is 3 by 2 for this line. Now, if I get the same slope in the next these 2 points, then they are parallel to each other. Let me try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and last one is 9. So this is plus 9, and this was plus 3, 6. Let's do this. 9 by 6, that is equal to 3. Table goes 3 times over here and 2 times. I'll put in the calculator, you'll get it. You can see here these both values are same. That means these two lines slopes are same. If the slopes are same, we can tell RQ is parallel to ST. Now these both are bases. This is one important thing what we have done. That is, we have found RQ and ST are parallel. Now don't stop. If at all RS and QT are parallel, then wrong. It's not a isosceles, it's not a trapezoid. Then it would be a parallelogram. See, trapezoids are not parallelograms. Why? I'll just clear this for a minute. Why? Because not all the sides are parallel to each other. Only one pair of sides, opposite sides, are parallel, and the other two are not parallel. That is a trapezoid. Looking at this, you can say these both are not parallel. But anyways, as we did this, we will find out RS and QT. I hope this is clear. We have found now RQ and ST are parallel. Now let's do these two. Here, I will start with R and S. Now, since R and S is a flat line, I don't have dy and dx. Here, the slope is 0. Imagine the road is so flat that there is no slope at all. Only when it's up like this, the slope, or down, negative slope. Here, there is no slope. The slope is 0. And over here in this line, you don't even need to measure anything. Why? Because it's slanted. That means there is some slope. It's a negative slope because it's going downwards, but there is some slope. What is it? 1, 2, 3. It's -3 and 1, right? So -3 by 1. So the slope is -3 here and 0. The slopes are different. Hence, they are not parallel. And I can, easily say now it is a trapezoid. This is the first part. Okay, this is the first part's explanation. Now, what about the second part? Determine whether it is an isosceles trapezoid. That means we need to measure this and this. Now, this is not equal to this line, okay? It's never equal, but they are parallel. Fine. We should measure this leg and this leg, RS and QT. If they are equal, then yes, it is isosceles. If not equal, no. Let's do that then. What is RS? Just count over here. Don't find any distance formula or anything. Just count it. 1, 2, 3. Measurement is 3. Now, it's up to you to find this. You can use distance formula. This x value over here, coordinates are there. Use the distance formula, that is square root of x2 minus x1, the whole square plus y2 minus y1, the whole square. Okay, this is y2. So this is the distance formula. You can do this, but I will tell you an easier method. I hope you all remember Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem says if there is a right angle triangle, say if there's a 90 degree, then the opposite side is hypotenuse. This is hypotenuse. So this hypotenuse, if I take C and these two sides, the legs are A and B, then the C square value is always equal to A square plus B square. Now then you can find any of these values you want. Now similarly, I don't know this line, right? But I know this measurement. This is a straight line and this is a straight line. 1 and 3. And whenever two straight lines meet, we can see this is 90 degree. So all I'm doing is Pythagoras theorem. Sorry, I don't know this value x. X square will be equal to sum of the other two sides. That is 3 square plus 1 square. This is the Pythagoras theorem. Now take the square root of this. X is equal to square root of 3 square is 9 plus 1 square is 1, that is square root 10. Okay. Now this will be equal to over 3.3. It's just more than 3. Okay. 3.1 or 2, something like that. So this is not equal to 3. Why? Because root 10 is more than 9. Root 9 will be equal to 3. So root 10 is more than 3. So this was 3 and this is 3 plus. This distance is 3 plus. So they both are not equal. That means it is not an isosceles. This is how we can solve it directly looking at the problem. It took a long time because I just explained it. But if you understand this concept in the exam, it'll just take you hardly a couple of minutes. That's it. First thing is finding out the base. Looking at it, I can tell these both are the bases. Find the slope of these both. If the slopes are same, yes, they are parallel to each other. Then find the leg slope. The leg slopes are different. We can say yes, this is a trapezoid because only one opposite pairs of sides are parallel. Next, what you do is basically find the lengths of the legs RS and QT. When you find the lengths, if they are equal, then they are isosceles. But in this case, it was not equal, so it's not isosceles. That's the answer. Now you can solve it various methods. See here also they have found the slope. I have told the direct counting method of slope, or you can use this anyhow. And you can see they have found the slope of these two as well. One is 0, one is -3. And then they have made the distance formula and found the distance. Up to you. Now oh sorry, here it is not 3, guys. I just realized the scale is 2. Each unit is 2, right? This is 2, 4, 6. This part is 6 distance. Here it would be square root 1 to 3 means 6 square plus 1 is 2 square. So when you solve this, it would be 36 plus 4 square root 40, which is more than 6. Why? Square root 36 means 6. 6 plus some value. See, this is not equal. Okay, that is the answer. Now then, that would be the answer. And it's not isosceles. Why? Because it is not the legs are not equal. That's the answer. Now we go on to the mid segment, the second objective. Mid segment. Now you can see, okay, I will come back to this in a while, but look at this here. You can see this is a trapezoid. These are bases. The mid segment is a line which is in the middle of these both. It's parallel to the bases. It's parallel. This all slopes are same. Okay. Now it should be really 2 lines. They are parallel. That's what it means. Now there's one more important thing. Each end points of the mid segment will be bisecting the legs. In the sense, it's if this is 10 over here, each of the side will be divided equally 5, 5. That would be the mid segment's end point. That is the thing. Now let's see over here. The mid segment of a trapezoid is parallel to each of the base, and its length is half the sum of the lengths of the bases. We will see the problem and you'll understand what this means. First thing, this is parallel to each other. Now they're asking you to find the mid segment UR. The formula is mid segment. I'll write mid segment equals half multiplied by the sum of the bases, that is B1 plus B2. This is the answer. Now, how would you solve it? Half, what is the base over here? 18 plus 11, and this is the answer. Mid segment is UR, the line UR mid segment. That would be 18 plus 11 is 29. And half of this is 14.5. The answer is 14.5. This would be the answer. Let me just check. Yes, that's the answer. It's very, very simple. Just add up both the bases and half them. Sorry. That's the answer. Now we can see another problem where here, see, they have told this base is unknown. Okay, this base. Looking at this is a mid segment. Okay, Rn. This base is unknown, X. This is known, 24 mid segment, and this is known. So all you do is write the mid segment formula. Mid segment will be equal to half base 1 plus base 2, right? Now what do we do is, what we know, mid segment value is 24. We know that. That is equal to half, what is base 1? 16.7 plus, what is this value? It's unknown, X. Okay. Now then, how would you solve? All you need to do is simplify this. Take this 2 to the other side. It will be 24 into 2 is 48 equals 16.7 plus X. Now take 16 to the other side. It will be 48 minus 16.7. 48 minus 16 is 32. It will be 31.3 equals X. I hope this is the correct one. So that is the answer, 31.3. I hope this is clear. All you're doing is substitute, or you can put this step directly after substitution in the calculator, use X as the variable, and you will get the answer. Okay, if you're worried about this calculation, put this in calculator. So this is how you solve mid-segment problems. Always remember the mid-segment divides this line into half. We have one more problem. The trapezoid ABCD AD and BC. See, they have told this AD is parallel to BC. Now, if you count the slope, it would be equal. Now, we need to find the mid-segment's endpoints. How would you do this? See, now we know this is parallel, this is parallel. So the mid-segment will be somewhere over here, which must be parallel to these both. It's in the middle of these. But how would you do it? So since over here we have a flat line, it's easy to do it without the midpoint formula. See, what is the midpoint formula? It is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. Okay? Just substitute this x1, y1, x2, y2. You will get the midpoint values. Okay, direct substitution. But now, here, since it's a flat line, I'll tell you another way. See which is the midpoint. This is 18, so half of 18 would be 9, isn't it? Now 0 and 18, right? It'll be 2, 4, see the scale is 2, 4, 6, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. This would be the midpoint. What would be the y value? It would be the same, 8, at 8 only. So this midpoint directly can be written as 9, 8. This is one way to write. Or you can use this formula. Let me just show you. x1 plus x2, it is 0 plus 18 divided by 2, y1, y2 will be 8 plus 8 divided by 2. If you take average of the same number, it will be the same number itself. It will be 8 over here. 18 by 2 is 9 because it's added with 0. So this is the answer. Now, the same thing is carried out over here. How would you solve this one? It's very simple. Use the midpoint formula. It's very hard to do this as a midpoint. Don't go to do for slanted lines. Don't count 1, 2, 3. No. Use the midpoint formula. That is 1 plus 20. Say I'll write the x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay. All you need to do is 1, 20 divided by 2. And what is y1? It's 4. Sorry, this is y1. That's very bad now. So x1, y1. Now it's 4 plus 0 divided by 2. So this is the answer. This is the substitution, sorry. 1 plus 20 is 21 by 2. It's 10.5. 10.5 and 4 by 2 is 2. This would be the midpoint. So here you can see the scale is wrong. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10.5 somewhere over here and 2. So this is the midpoint over here. Now this and this, if you draw a straight line joining these 2 points, that would be your mid segment. So the endpoints would be 9, 8, 10.5, 2. Let's see. So these are the 2 answers. Okay, it's very, very straightforward. Just using midpoint formula, you'll get the answer. Or you can, for a straight line only, you can count it out directly, not for a slanted line. That's the endpoints. And now we move on to the last topic, that is kites. Kites, aren't they beautiful? So this is a kite over here. It has some special properties. What are they? Now, a kite is a convex quadrilateral with exactly 2 distinct pairs of adjacent congruent sides. Now, this is another important thing. And unlike parallelogram, opposite sides of kite are not congruent nor parallel. Now, before we go on to see the kite, and I'll explain you properly, but over here, if a quadrilateral is a kite, then the diagonals are perpendicular. Now, imagine this is a kite. Sorry, that's very bad. Now, this one and this one. If you draw a perpendicular line, say here and over here, then this is all 90 degrees. I hope this is clear. This is all perpendicular. If a quadrilateral is a kite, if quadrilateral means 4-side shape is a kite, then exactly 1 pair of opposite sides is congruent. Now, what it means is only 1 pair of opposite sides. See, now this side is equal, this side is equal. That's what it says. Now, in a kite, opposite sides are equal, only one, distinct opposite sides. But what about the angles? Not all the both sides are equal, only 1 pair. So you can see the longer one generally is not equal. These 2 are equal. Okay, these 2 are equal. Is that clear? Now, one way to understand it is, if I draw a straight line, then there's a triangle. This is a triangle, right? Now you can see this would be equally bisected. This angle and this angle is equal. This and this is equal. Then obviously when we use the triangle angle sum theorem, 180-degree, right, total. When we find this and this, it must be equal. Okay, this is one way to understand. But other way it would be direct one. And one of my student, I remember, Uma was telling me, when you draw a straight line here, sorry, I was asking what do you understand by kite in the class, and I remember a student telling me it divides into two equilateral triangles. Yes, absolutely right. If you draw a line over here, you can divide a kite always, sorry, not equilateral, sorry, my wrong. It is a isosceles triangle. It is always divided into two isosceles triangle. So these are all different properties of kite, but the most important ones, what you must remember is one thing: two consecutive, see, these two sides are equal and these two distinct sides are equal, and one pair of opposite angles will be equal. Now here they have told to find the measure of n, unknown value n, but I know if this is x, L also is x. So let's add up all the angles: 71 plus 52 plus x. This must be equal to 360 degrees. Now let's solve 71 plus 50. It is 120 plus 3, 23 plus 2x equals 360. Now take this 123 to the other side. 2x equals 360 minus 123. I'll write the answer directly. It will be 260 minus 237. Okay. Now divide both these sides by 2. You will get x equals 2, 15, 6. Sorry, not 2, 1, 15. Sometimes, the brain just freezes. So 16 is 18.5, 118.5. I just hope this is correct. So it's a 118.5. Yes. Okay, you can use calculator for just to be sure. This is how you can easily solve. Add all the angles. N and L will be equal. Why? Because kite, one pair of opposite angles are equal. So if these two are not, these two are. And that's how we solve it. Now, there's another same problem where you have to find the angle F over here. Now, this and this will be equal. So if it is x, this is x. Let's solve it quickly. 128 plus 72 plus x and x is 2x is equal to 360. So over here, 128 plus 7 is 130, 200, sorry. 200 equal 200 plus 2x equals 360. Now take this 200 to the other side. It will be 2x equals 160. Why 360 minus 200 is 160. X equals 80 degrees, and this is the answer. So that is 80 degrees over here. Very simple, very straightforward. And we are going into the last type of problem. Find the lengths in kites. Now here you can see they have given you the diagonals of a kite, and they have given you the sides as well. These diagonal sides. They are asking you, see, they have told this is a kite, and they're asking you AD. Where is AD? This length, how do you find it? Now look closely. This is 12, this is 12, this is 24. ED is 24. All we need is this one. ED is 24, AE is 12, and we know this is 90 degree. Why? Because the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So all are 90 degrees. Now which theorem do you use then? It should be Pythagoras. So always the hypotenuse is the opposite to 90 degree. If this is 90 degree, opposite to this is hypotenuse. You will study more on this in trigonometry in this term itself in the coming lessons. But for now, just remember the biggest length in a right angle triangle. Right angle triangle means when there is 90 degree. That is the opposite side hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. Okay, that's hypotenuse. Now this hypotenuse, if I take it as x over here, x square will be equal to, the square of that is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. That is these two legs, 12 square plus 24 square. Now take the square root over here. square root of 12 square plus 24 square. Okay, that is x square. Sorry, x is good. I'm taking square root on both the sides. So over here, let me just show you. The square root here cancels with square, so you're remaining with x equals this one. Now here you can just use the calculator. Let me just, okay, over here it is 12 square. Okay, now 12 square is 144. Well, let's take the root. 12 square plus 24 square, and what is the answer? It's 12 root 5. So that would be AD, or it is 26.83. So over here you're just using that same formula. Here you can see it is 12 root 5. That would be the answer. Directly Pythagoras theorem. Okay, I hope this is clear. That's from Pythagoras theorem. Next then, what is the perimeter? Now, here we know this is how much? 12 root 5, okay? Now, this is 12 root 5, then this is also x. Now, what about this side? Let's take it as y. We know 6 and 12, we will do the same hypotenuse Pythagoras theorem here. Y would be equal to, I'll directly write square root 6 square plus 12 square. That would be equal to 36 plus 144. That's equal to 180 square root. Now you need to find a perfect square and solve it, or you can just do it in the calculator here. It is 6 square, 12 square. Over here I forgot to write the square. What is the answer? It is 6 root 5. It is 36. 5 times is 180. So 36 can be taken out, and yeah, that's the answer. So here we are getting 6 root 5. Let me write it. 6 root 5. Now, what is perimeter? Perimeter is sum of all the sides, isn't it? All the sides. So add this, this, and this. So we know there is 2 times 12 root 5. Well, you just add it. 12 root 5 plus 12 root 5 plus 6 root 5 plus 6 root 5. What would be the answer? So that's something you need to solve. I would do it directly. 6 root 5. Okay, I'll write multiplied by 2 because we are adding it 2 times. Multiplied by 2 plus 12 root 5. Multiply this as well by 2. And the answer is 36 root 5, or 80.5. You can see the perimeter. After finding this y, that is 6 root 5, you need to just add up all the measures and you get 36 root 5, or 80.5. I hope this is clear. We are finding the sides over here. Basically, we are finding the sides. Um, how do we find the sides? Using Pythagoras theorem, because all the two diagonal, both the diagonals will intersect each other perpendicularly. That means 90 degrees are formed. Then you can use Pythagoras theorem, find the ends. If you find one, it's enough, because both these sides are equal, and here also at the bottom both are equal. This is how we easily solve it up. Now another problem, same concept. Please do try it by yourself and then you can continue with the explanation. I'll quickly do it. Pythagoras theorem first. Let me do CD. What is CD here? Now CD and BC are equal, so let me do it over here. Pythagoras theorem directly, it's 5 square plus 8 square. This would be the answer. I'll directly use the calculator now. Square root 5 square plus 8 square. The answer is root 89, or 9.43. Okay, the answer is root 89. Now, what about the perimeter? Don't just stop over here. Find the other using Pythagoras theorem. Find BA or DA. That would be square root 12 square plus 5 square. Why? Because this is 12 and this is 5. Now, all you need to do is 5 is already there. I'll just change this 8 to 12. And the answer is 13. So here I got square root 89. Here I got 13. Now I know the perimeter is 2 times this sides, that is root 13, plus 2 times root 89. Okay. Now what is the answer? 13 times 2, sorry. My answer was 13, not root 13, guys. 13, okay? So 13 square is 169. It is root 169 here, or 13 is the direct answer. So all you need to do is 13 into 2, that is 26, plus 2 root 89. Okay, 2 root 89. This would be the answer, 26 plus 2 root 89. Okay, you can see that's the answers. So same like the previous example, all you need to do is first the sides by using Pythagoras theorem, then the other side using Pythagoras theorem, add the four sides. Two sides are equal to each other and these two are equal to each other. This is how you can easily find the sides and solve this problem. That's the end of this lesson. I hope this lesson has been useful for all of you. Please do post any doubts in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please do hit the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, but that would mean so much to me and I would greatly appreciate it. And I greatly appreciate all those who subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. Thank you guys. And I will be back with soon with the next video. Bye bye.